Nothing like going online with the wrong ISO auto setting from last night. Welcome everyone to another quick live stream here, working every day in public holiday. Making our Linux distribution dependency tracking better by finally filtering Python dependencies a little bit more. You've seen this here for quite some days, that our packages over the last years got more and more random dependencies, and it's finally time. I mean, to all fairness, well, I should have improved this years ago, like 1 or 2 years ago, but it's also, I improved it a little bit some year ago, but it was still not amazing. Because so what is the issue? The issue is that probably also the main issue is that lots of packages now run more Python code, like Meson, Ninja, that we didn't have this like for years, like for decades, for probably 20 years, we didn't have really this issue, like only Python things run Python and then they used what they used. So the problem is now we get, so this is liquid controls, maybe not the best. What was it? What was the other thing yesterday? What did I, not liquid control, because that is actually using that, but maybe, yeah, so even that might have a handful of random dependencies, including scons. What was it even freaking that? I mean, could we even sway? Sway whatever. This Meson actually, I mean, this looks surprisingly okay. What did I even, the problem is I run, very clever from me. Damn it. So, long story short, what did I even build? Or maybe libspice or something. Let's see, libspice. Yeah, so for example, that is a better example with all this PS auto hint. So what we need to filter, so they, for example, use valid use. So the issue is that we at T2, one of the most amazing and historically early Linux distributions, want to automate as much as possible, magnitude more than other Linux distributions, and we also track dependencies automatically. The only which worked fine for the most of 20 years. But so for example here, just because the stuff runs Meson and Ninja and stuff, we get here like probably even setup tools. So the problem is Python loads all this ecinfo, package info stuff. And so what do we need to filter? That's the point of this video, and I look at this together with you. For example, liquid controls, obviously, for my liquid loop, right? That is not a real dependency. And so we need to filter. Also, unfortunately, it is not as easy as ecinfo, because I also really wonder, right? I'm not a total Python expert, but like, why does this not have ecinfo here? Why is this in an ecinfo subdirectory? This is also so bizarre. Yeah, so it's not only, so that's why it is silly, right? It should be one file. It's I would also say this Python stuff should only load. I mean, I understand caching and registries and stuff, but it would also be an amazing idea to just use the files you need. So it's not as easy as filtering ecinfo, because this file isn't in ecinfo. It's also not as easy as filtering entry points, because all the other things here don't have entry points, and this one has both. PS auto hint. This has even more. It also have FSM out or whatever. So yeah, so that is a little bit annoying. We can also not filter all of side packages, because that is, of course, here's the core Python stuff that it's actually using. So for us, it's also so crazy. We already filter some Py whatever stuff. Now we need to filter even more. So on a first glance, I don't see a real shortcut. So basically this would be package info. Maybe we filter all of package info and entry points, which is rather ridiculous, but probably what we got to do. We've got to do what we got to do. So we have some hard-coded filtering stuff here. And for sure there is some Python stuff. So we probably want to... So where's the Python stuff? F-list read filter. Just where is this Python stuff? Maybe here. Or is it MK spec? No, I think this believes. So maybe I should also better comment that here. No, it's actually a commit. So probably more readable would have been multiple lines and then add to that. Why is this called foo dear list? So, for example, even for me to see what we added here for what. I can sprotdev. Let's maybe, as we unlock that, filter on business edge more shared. I can filter out Mac. It is possible that I added something on a workstation and didn't commit this of my handful of working copies. So we need to filter read. I wonder if we can use, because it's getting a little bit long here, var append. Let's try if that works with all the special characters. Pipe separated and then qmake. This was in normal quotes. Let's see. And then, so yeah, the Python stuff is rather annoying. I wonder, can we... Okay, here we don't need qmake, so that's basically probably next to everything. Just with side packages. And then the annoying thing, entry points, it is hilarious. Package info, yeah. It is what it is. We will not get around that. Packages. Side packages. Does any other have here? Apparently not. Because what we would need is F-list R filter. Okay, so we enclose that in beginning of line and end of line. So let's see if that works here. I don't know if it probably should, right? Because we would need package info. Okay, we can probably remember that. Package info. Does it need escaping? the other stuff does not have escaping. So this, it will add, our code will add surrounding begin and end of lines. So let's maybe see if that does something. Let's rebuild libspice. Libspice is named libspice in T2 because Spice was given. I also wonder like why Spice is an electronic modeling simulation thing that existed for decades, and I really don't quite get why other to become major open source packages components need to reuse the name. This yeah. So let's see, what did we get in var adm deb debug libspice. Actually, maybe we should simply grab that. So that apparently probably did work, to my surprise. Let's see what we still have in here. Okay, did it use CMake? Maybe it, I mean, yeah, it used those files, right? Maybe I should check that. Okay, it used Sozzle 2. Exit and maybe even unwind. Some of the stuff might be indirect. Yeah, by parsing. So what is important is that we still have the actual use in here. I wonder what, once upon a time we filtered some Python precompiled stuff. Yeah, in general, this technology also, why did it use MTST? That is, did it really? How did it freaking use? What does it try to do with MT? What else do we? Always find this suspicious. Libspice, let's maybe update that. Okay, it has Vagrant. It really did run Vagrant? So what would be next for this amazing Linux distribution would be marking optional runtime things, or optional and or runtime things, so that our emerge stuff. Okay, that is interesting. So that, okay, MT was MTST. Was it MT? It was MT, huh? So yeah, glibc 32 is still in there. I slightly wonder why. What did I just say? I slightly wonder why. What MTST is. Yeah, maybe we should simply. I need to check what. Maybe that's some common executable on whatever Windows or BOS system or who knows what. What else? What? Ah, right, Vagrant. Alright, maybe we check the log. Is there any? Okay, like this we will. No, it actually effing. It actually checks for effing MT. You can't make this shit up. Wow, it checks. Maybe that is a Windows thing. Wow, that explains. I mean, I always wondered like why the freaking heck is MTST some tape, SCSI tape thing, as far as I remember. I think this was the like 25 years ago. That was probably the more advanced. Like, I think it's a variant of this ST Linux tape thing of like. Maybe we should simply rename that or so, because I don't want to pollute our global filtering with 25-year-old tape stuff. Okay, it really does that, and it effing checks for Valgrind for no good reason. So this Valgrind stuff also annoys me a lot. Because it doesn't even freaking use it. This is also previous video. Please stop that. This is so bad practice. Checking for random stuff that you don't use, don't need. And anyway, so okay, it added Valgrind back. I had also it added Clang back. Did it really use Clang or what? Interesting. How is libclang cpp? How is that used? And why is that in lib and not lib64? I would need to see the full log to know how. That is slightly bizarre. Okay. It's in there, so our regular expression and tracking stuff and everything appears to be working. Let's once more remove it manually just because. Is it all that I wanted to? So yeah, with this cleanup, yeah, this clang is also, yeah. So the goal is, of course, this year is quality of life and T2 usability improvement. And so yeah, that is certainly a win-off. So and this multiplied with 5,000 packages, right? That certainly hopefully gets rid of lots of. Maybe we commit this in the reverse order. That is globally filter stray Python side package metadata site register funds or whatever. Dependency or whatever, and then spice. So of course theoretically it doesn't scale. The reason I do this now is of course we are just days before a major release. Basically it's hard to call it the best because 20 years ago when I was a student I spent weeks and day and nights and in university lectures of with your iBook like you do, secure shelling at home or so, and fixing building stuff. And because back in the day we built OpenOffice, so calling it the best in different ways, the best, supporting 30 or 28 more architectures. It doesn't come with LibreOffice pre-built, but you can imagine, which also, fun fact, we probably should update that. So is it the really best release? I mean, that is the thing, right? 20 years ago we had KDE, like working KDE, KDE3, and you could build this on your 800 megahertz iBook or gigahertz Athlon. And now like KDE is such a monster that I don't even want to neither build it for myself nor ship it for others, right? So is it the best release? Well, it includes modern Firefox and XFCE, I guess. So yeah, there goes that. So theoretically we should rebuild that. I have here the latest installation because okay, data is done and sleeping. Did data update something? Data did not update the most today. That is suspicious. 2023 can't even rely on you. Can't even rely on your AI anymore. So this here is of course my rolling release stuff from. Does it even include that here? Did we not had version? Why is here not version? Wait, oh, this is anyway. This is. No, this is not. Why is this interesting? This is some old generic NeoFetch version. Yeah, so OST2, so that is probably before we... come on. Before we... Yeah, OS x86, what the heck. Yeah. Anyway, so... Theoretically, rebuild everything, rebuild world. I wonder if we quickly should watch here my 500,000 shells. To do something useful, I mean, we could emerge. So the problem is, what is the wake? Oh, was this written? No. Yeah. Quake, of course. With K. How else? And so I know already. So theoretically, we should get our stuff in a state where that would just boot. But I'm aware that we are still some days far from that. But what we could do, so that it would basically be quality assurance and fixing even more details of such stuff, so that stuff just emerges and builds for you playing along at home on your P3 or Octane or Sun Ultra Spark. The other thing is we could improve our contributing developer had posted the other day. I mean, it is at least, will this Qt5 stuff build? Let's see. Posted some GitHub stuff with modern. Why isn't it? I had that. So I passed 24. Yeah, as you see, 24 threads. So I passed this in QEMU KVM. 24 of my 32 threads on the server. I didn't do this in a little bit fail because I should have done that in yeah, that also looks probably good for YouTube views. We could even like oops, yeah, we could even uncenter that. Yeah. There is even... this is no silly. Because I run this in... So how do I... Okay, I'm lucky I can move that like that. Getting a little bit auto-fend here with... Oh, wait, I wanted to switch that. So, back to... Alright, I anyway can... So this cloud computing, thin client cloud computing feels so native. Probably next I need to figure out remote copy and paste with Spice. There is what I probably here. So we need, darn, I can't type this. So yeah, this is still building. No, okay, we could still continue to build that in the background here because I forgot to tmux. Let's emerge NQ, JQ. So yeah, that is the thing. Is Oniguruma really needed? So that would be the thing now, to rebuild more of the stuff. And for example, iterate here over all the GitHub packages. So the only thing is I can't easily feed that in our data. So I would need to somehow, I mean, maybe some alternative mode for our version checker. HTTPS API github.com repos lab vc lab vc releases jq dot. Alright, we have here UK keyword right now. Did I type, if a type was there, https API github.com repos lab lab wc. Why does this not, or did I, maybe this was not the right expression. So that maybe. So the only thing is we of course need some, oops. So there we build something. The stuff builds, of course. Fast-ish. But I control C this now. This was just a test anyway. I want my tmux back. And so then we could also, as a test, iterate over all our packages. Of course, some regular expression required, because, for example, for what would we probably also should normalize this. Downloads, at time we use strange downloads. So let's see what, okay, we can just grab GitHub and iterate over all of those and see if that produces better automatic package data input for our data AI. So for example, so we have here, that would then be probably Airblader X CB util. What? Util XRM? Yeah, except when you get, like you had one job, and yeah, modern times, each freaking repository has other crazy tags. So it was XCB util XRM, I believe. It's like, yeah, my lucky life on this channel, right? You take one random package and that is already, yeah. Okay, that is from, okay, the freaking name is so shitty, but okay, what we need actually is the freaking tarball. Do we have the tarball in there of source? Here is name assets, so we want some name. Assets name, how does it work here with JC? This is funny that does not return the one thing, count index array with string name. Guess I need to read the freaking Yeah, you get the idea. You just need to figure out the syntax of this thing. That is, of course, way more scalable than regular expression parsing this stuff, because this JC, what does it stand for? So that was JSON. So there are a couple of JSON and whatnot. JQ, right? JSON command line. So yeah, JSON, not sure. So there's cat and grep and whatnot for also other XML stuff. By the way, speaking of which, does this have a new release? 1.6 or no? Apparently, it's like, yeah, stuff's so amazing already. 5 years old? 4 years? Yeah. Probably feature complete and whatnot. So yeah, we would need the tarball thing ideally, because the name doesn't help us much. So that would be assets. So that is an array. So not this URL we need. So where was the tarball? Here, tarball name. That is the name of this. Tar dot. So we have here a name. Wait, there was another download. Browser download URL. I mean, that's not too bad. Maybe that is. I mean, I would just use name, but if it is browser download URL, then so be it. Nah, just returns garbage. Thank you very much. Nah. Why is this? Probably I should read the freaking manual. Manual, online, try online? No, I want to read the freaking manual. Where is this? Tutorial, download tutorial. Let's see, curl, shit. JQ returns nicely formatted JSON. Hey, that even has examples with GitHub. What a coincidence. Returns nicely formatted JSON for servers that can be helpful to pipe the response through JQ to pretty print it. Simplest program is expression which takes input and processes it unchanged as output. Can extract just the first commit. Why is this the first commit? The rest have curl command, not going to change. So we a lot of info we don't care about, so restricted download more interesting fields. Here is, wait, what? Message. Okay, so we need probably the pipe operator feeds the output to one filter, gets the first element of the response, another, which builds the output, message commit name, committer name, something like that. Do they use dash C? Oh no, they don't. I don't know what. Maybe we shouldn't use this then. Cat index array with string. Maybe we should also not re-download it and just use it locally. So this, okay, that's an array. Okay, the problem might be, has the first array, the first array thing is here. That does not have, why is this releases, release tags, author. Wait, that is an array, that is still the array, assets. Okay, that is in assets. Okay, maybe that doesn't filter because it's in assets, so maybe we need to write assets. Asset, do they have some message, commit? So probably the first, let's see. Did I say to save it locally? Pro tip, save it locally. I mean, you don't need cat, right? You can also that, but why does that do that? What is a little bit annoying is that the viewer, the spicy viewer grabs all events that I can't as instantly switch. It's a little bit annoying to also keep my own video running. What a fail. Not sure why that is 0. Let's see, what did we had here? A dot. Not sure what that does then, but does that do something? Ah, that does something. Amazing. So then filter, was it asset? So what was the syntax? Message, commit message, comma name. I want the freaking asset. Message, so there's a lot of info we don't need, so restrict download the most interesting fields. Operator feeds the output to one filter, gets the first element of the array and responds to the another, so why is this in curly braces? Was it starting with message, commit message? So that is nothing like destroying your presses typing with trying to navigate the which too many keyboard layouts. So that was, I mean, there is a tarball URL, but this tarball URL is annoying. That is a redirecting thing. So I guess browser download URL, but we probably need this in assets. Yes, still outputs everything. Alright, because does this? Because it's not my configured. What is the freaking scrolling in? Okay, fine, then not. So assets, browser download URL. Browser download URL. Did it work like this? If not, define the top level. Dot commit message, comma name. Assets no. Browser download URL. By the way, this probably does not work, does it? Does like asset. Oh wait, assets. Oh no, I have assets. So that's the array, that's the assets. Wait, this is also an array. Maybe that is why. So this is the first entry. Because that is the second entry. Do we assets? Keyboard layouts kill me here with. Maybe we need that again. Object with number. Yeah, would be so nice in theory. There's probably some good reason why it doesn't work like that, but so there's a lot of info. Okay, so restrict down to more interesting fields. So much to quickly do something. So returns each element of the array returned in the response one at a time, which are all fed into. I mean, we maybe could, like, if we get this to work, I mean, assets worked, didn't it? Are this multipler? Here's the first, there is a second. Why are they both the same? So they are both for. Did I we restrict this to the first? Does this? Okay, this gives us all. I mean, theoretically, we need all. We might need all because the first might be better alpha release. So, if we use our own version numbering filtering and my coffee, out of coffee. What time do we have? 14. I mean, at least my precious phone only fell on a wooden floor. Knock on wood. So assets, that is an array, so that's an object. So all I wanted was a browser download URL. Let's first we need to get this working with one and assets. So these are again multipler. Should it not work like that? Why is this dot? Check index object with number. Okay, that's an object already. Why so? Okay, fine. Browser download. This somehow doesn't yield something. Browser download URL. Assets, compile error is not defined at top level. Yeah. Fine, I will probably do this off camera because it is probably message, commit message. So asset, or does this, wait, what was the syntax there? Message, maybe assets, maybe that should work. Unexpected end, Unix shell coding issues. Yeah. Okay, this is empty now, and all I want was browser download URL message.commit. Maybe you click here and show result. Okay, that's an array. Shall commit author, and then they filter commit message, commit matter message. How does it translate to our message? Commit message. Nobody in the comments here to help. Disappointed. Assets. Should this not work like this? Assets, also the only thing is with this array thing there. That is, and so the difference is probably that's an array, isn't it? And this commit is an object and not an array. So they get the first, and then where's the message though? Here is the message. Maybe I have this wrong. For message, commit message name. So probably maybe I got this wrong simply. Reversed. Maybe I need browser URL in assets also. Message in dot commit messages in message. This somehow the first browser download. I mean, why does this not filter something now? Yeah. Commit message. Was this not? Commit message. Commit dot message. Maybe because is this still because that is still an array. Oh wait. Does this did it rename that to browser download URL? Apparently. So it was this. Maybe this is what I got confused because this renamed that. Or did it assets? So that is the raw thing. So that is the raw index. Maybe we was this pretty printing it. So that's an array. That is the first thing. And so URL yada yada blah blah blah. So then comes assets. Assets. So that's the first array. No wait. So that's the array. That's an object. Then assets. Assets, that's an array though. So basically, probably the first. So that is that. We then need to filter. Does this do something? Nah, I continue. That is probably too boring to. Somehow wish it would be more intuitive, but that's what you get in IT. So yeah, I hope you learn something each day. Basically, to summarize it, I just want to maximize the user experience for new users. That more stuff just works and is up to date. Python we tackled, some more updates, some more testing, and then we're ready to ship. Hope you enjoyed this, learned something, including that JQ thing here. So it's a little bit error prone to work with, but maybe that is what, I don't know, JSON is. Hope you enjoyed this, learned something, and see you soon for the next fun stuff to come.